Continuing reading. Kudos again to you for educating your mind. Regarding the senses, there is now irrefutable evidence that we all have a sixth sense. Evidently, every cell in the body is capable of picking up and transmitting subtle energy in the form of resonating frequencies. At the World Research Foundation International Conference last year, which is 20 years old, I met with Born Nordenstrom, one of the world's leading cancer specialists, and heard him present his experiments on the use of the body's subtle energies to heal cancer. Nordenstrom was able to take a cancer cell and, by changing the resonating frequencies of the subtle energies surrounding it, transform that cell into a healthy one. In the last few years, leading researchers on the body have been fascinated by the fact that we all seem to be walking antennas. We are picking up encoded resonating frequencies all the time. Ernest Rosie reports that the limbic center at the very base of the brain is altered state sensitive. It receives and evidently processes subtle energy frequencies as they pick up by the cellular network and sent to the brain. There seems to be a rational explanation for the six senses after all. Now, this book was written in 1990, okay, and this guy has already talked to somebody that knows how to cure cancer. He knows, this guy that knows how to change the frequency of cancer and cure it. So why the hell are you donating any of your funds to cancer research? That will open up your mind to most every friggin' non-profit has answers, but they choose not to. Why? They're not motivated to. They'll all be out of work. Every single thing that's wrong today, if we actually did what's right, they'd be unemployed. And right now, there's a lot of money going to be funded into more and more of everything that's wrong. And if you can't see it coming, you're going to destroy the freaking planet. But we can jump out of that by realizing I would invest in any nonprofit, especially cancer. Cancer is the biggest fraud known to man. Cancer is created by the corporate world. Cancer is something that you will never ever get a doctor that says here's the cause that created your cancer. More than likely it's the poison that a corporate world creates, or it's the mindset the corporate world wants you to have. It does not want you to think, so you will constantly create negative energies that create cancer, which can be cured. You can cure these cancers, but if you continue to have the same frequencies in your lifestyle, it won't cure you. So that's why, the frequency, great. You can use something within our bigness of our world to cure cancer, but that ultimately is not the cure because you have the frequency within your body. You got to sort of change your lifestyle. Anyone that has been cured of cancer with this concept has to change their lifestyle. They have to change the frequencies within their own body that created that cancer. Cancer is a con job, like every other illness is. Illness is just a con that we make a lot of money. Our current evil world is profiting off of you dying. Why? Because the first lie says all humans need to die. We don't need to die. We need to fix our world. And evil doesn't want that. Evil wants to trap us into this particle world. That's why this Illuminati is everybody saying we're doing God's work. As long as God wants us on this planet experiencing this dimension of particle and wave and stuff and greed, they need to make sure that you're locked into not knowing the truth. So it is kind of evil. And if you look at it from this perspective, you can see why the Bibles are guiding you towards creating Armageddon so that you're locked into this hell. So it really, okay, now I look crazy after I read this shit because I see the truth of everything, and the truth goes against everything that you believe in. It's like all of your beliefs are making you actually insane. But when you find out the truth, you'll be sane, but you'll be judged by insane people So if you're judged by insane people, you will appear insane, which is what I'm being judged as. I get paid for being insane. I can't fit out in that corporate world right now because I see what they're doing is wrong. And if I open my mouth to say, oops, why would I do anything wrong? I'll get fired, which is why I can't fit within the workforce right now. Is because they don't want me there, because I'll speak up, I'll point out the wrongs, and nobody wants to know what's wrong because they won't make any money off of it. Even this guy that created this book, he perceives me to be an enemy. And kind of notice that if I write a book, this is one of this guy's insanity, that he doesn't see himself. Mostly because I've seen this shit before he wrote this book. I've seen this when I was born. But I was told I was wrong all the time, so I needed to research to find out what's true. But this guy definitely has an unknown problem that he doesn't want to face, which is found in every one of your complaints. It's not out there. It's not caused by somebody else. It's actually you. So you make a complaint about something, take some responsibility and accountability for that problem, and transform it. So this guy's insanity is he's written all these books. 1990, have you ever heard of it? If this can cure all illnesses, all diseases, solve every freaking problem known to the human experience, have you heard about it? It's over 20 years old. 1990, it's like 90 to 2000 to 10. It's going on 11 years old, or 21 years old. Have you heard of the book? Now, I know if I wrote a book, I would want, people to buy that book. That's the purpose of me writing that book. Is this book on the bestsellers? No. Because this guy's view is, you people don't want it. You people don't want it. You people don't want it. So he creates a world where he perceives as nobody's interested. I perceive it as, we are interested. We all want change. So I'm going to create the reality in my own mind that, yeah, people really want it. It's guiding me towards making YouTube videos because we can't afford it right now. We need it free. Those that are suffering the most will want to solve a problem. But those at the bottom have to recognize that this information has to be known by everybody for it to work. Otherwise, you get caught up in a game. You won't fit in with society. And here's the warning. If you continue reading this, you will not fit within society ever, 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 unless society changes. And you got to be that change. Just own your complaints and your excuses. Know that everything, everywhere you are, is because of where you want to be. And if you want to be someplace different, kind of just transform the problem into the solution. I don't know where I left off. Pick up by the cellular network of the brain. There seems to be a rational fix. Don't know where I left off. Okay, I'm just going to read from the next paragraph because I think that's where I left off. The limbic center in the neurological attached to the hypothalamus, which controls the pituitary, which controls the hormones that trigger your body's responses. When someone says boo and you are not expecting it, your limbic system reacts by instantly mobilizing your entire body to be startled. And when you think a certain thought, the holodynes involved set up resonating frequencies which go directly to the limbic center, which then sends your messages on through the entire body. Cleve Baxter, the inventor of the polygraph or lie detector, has carried this idea one step further, showing how the sixth sense has a quantum dimension. I first met Cleve in the International Conference of Human Functioning in Kansas in 1987. At that time, he showed a split-screen video recording of one of his experiments. The subject, an obviously skeptical doctor, was asked to rinse his mouth out with a weak salt solution. The solution was taken into a separate room, placed on a table, and connected to electrodes to a polygraph. The doctor in the same room was given a Playboy magazine with pictures of Bo Derek in the centerfold. One half of the screen showed the polygraph readings from the mouth rinse container containing the doctor's saliva cells. The other half showed the doctor looking through the magazine. When he reached a picture of Bo Derek, the polygraph readings went off the chart. Only when he stopped looking did the readings return to normal. The doctor closes the magazine, but then after a moment said, "Oh, one more look." And as he opened the magazine and looked at the pictures, the polygraph reading again went off the chart. On national television, Baxter's experiment took an even more dramatic turn. The host of That's Incredible show, Baxter taking a single cell from a woman's mouth and hooked it up to an electroencephalograph, an EEG machine, which produces readings similar to the polygraph. With one camera on the readings, the television crew followed the woman with a second camera. The woman walked down a rough section of town at night, was accosted by a pimp, kept on walking, and all the while the EEG machines, even though over 3 miles away, still recorded her emotional reactions. A single cell can pick up messages in some dimension which is not affected by time or distance, evidently a quantum dimension. The implications for space travel are tremendous. It may be possible to maintain instantaneous communication over unlimited distance simply by tuning in to this subtle energy field, by picking up specific coded messages which come through the resonating frequencies of the quantum wave. The evidence then is clear that we have sixth sense to help us. It also appears that each of our six senses has two ways of perceiving reality, either as particle or wave. Particle information is processed primarily in the left hemisphere of the brain, and wave information primarily in the right. And how does your mind handle all this information? It takes both the particle and the wave information coming into from your six senses and puts it together on the holodynamic plane, where it can see all information as one dynamic whole. To understand how the dynamic plane works, you need to learn about ISP, intuitive sensory perception, the way your intuitive mind uses your six senses. I don't know if it's going to get into this, but your senses, what your senses are, is how you receive information, how you send and receive, which is eyes. You speak, you hear, you touch, you feel, and you sense. Your senses do receive something. Or intuition, not sense. Your intuition is that other sense. Intuitive sensory perception. The key to understanding your holodynamic mind rests in your intuitive sensory perception, ISP. And that is what is being so friggin' just suppressed. When through phase-spacing you tune your senses into the orders within orders of your mind, you are using intuitive sensory perception, ISP. Can help you understand the dynamics of these orders within orders. It can help you unlock and unfold your fullest potential and thus empower your life. This one skill, the ability to use your ISP, can do more for you, can do more to get you from point A to point B than any other single skill. This is why they don't want you to know this. Do not listen to your intuition. There's a reason why. Because if you use your intuition, you're going to be the smartest human on the friggin' planet. But you need to know how to use your intuition. That's the key, because your intuition can guide you towards good or evil, because there's a negative, positive. So you have to know how to use it. ISP is responsible for almost all our technological advances and very well be the key to the future of peace on Earth. You are already using ISP. Indeed, everyone is, but few know anything at all about it. Here is how ISP works. Intuitive sensory perception refers to the intuitive use of your senses. In other words, you take your senses and use them to go into it or into the wave function of reality to experience things in specific intuitive ways that are not directly available to your rational mind. I'm running out of tape, so I'm going to continue on another tape. Hope you're enjoying this. Peace out.